We've achieved Premier League status, which is the only place to be, of course, in the Premier League. We're in the process of moving stadium, which is a once in 100 years situation. And to ensure that all that goes smoothly, a listing on the stock exchange ensures that we have the financial strength and ability to achieve our aspirations.
I've got a few problems with injuries to players in crucial positions. I need to strengthen, but it's difficult getting people in, quality players in, for the right sort of money.
I go every week by myself, but I stand with the same crowd of people. We buy each other's coffees, pies, we score a goal, we jump all over each other on the floor hugging, and I haven't got a clue what they call them. Yet we're there every week in the same spot, you know, and it's absolutely amazing.
To be perfectly honest, going to watch Sunderland, you don't really see a lot of skillful football. It's a lot of battling and guts. But I enjoy all football, watching it on telly and everything. But it's the atmosphere as well. It's the highs and lows of Sunderland, you know. Every season you go to, it's not just boring. It's what you've either, you know, you've won the championship or you're fighting for relegation. So it's just the highs and lows all the time.
In my lifetime following Sunderland, I've probably had more lows than highs, you know. But the good times is coming. I think they are.
Back in February last year, despite injuries, Sunderland was still hovering around the middle of the Premier League. And so manager Peter Reid took advantage of a gap in the fixtures to give his team a break.
Last year when we were in the promotion race, we won at Grimsby 4-0, and I brought the lads here before the game. It's a place where they can relax in the leisure facilities and, dare I say it, have the odd glass of wine. I do let them have a certain amount of freedom and treat them, I like to think I treat them like men, and if anyone crosses me or gets out of line, they've got a problem, but usually they're a good bunch. I don't think there's anything wrong with hard work, but I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying your hard work, and that's what we try to do. I mean, Christmas, don't forget when you were having your Christmas turkey and your Christmas... I mean, we had 4 games in 9 days. Playing New Year's Day, the lads are in bed, New Year's Eve, while everyone's having a jolly up. So there's drawbacks. I mean, I think, like any of the lads, it's a great life. It's a great life, but, I mean, it's hard. You've got to work hard at it as well.
It's just always my ambition to be a footballer. But as far as back as I can remember, I took a ball with me wherever I went. I always had a pair of shorts under my trousers, so if there's a game going on, I could join in. I could have gone into boxing when I was about 9 or 10, but chose to play football.
We're still rehabbing, so we've got to do our work. Once we've done that, then we're going to have a sauna, jacuzzi, a little swim. He's doing a bit of training this afternoon. I'm training out on the golf course. So it's just... Yeah, practising my swing. But this to us is important as much as what that is important for them. I mean, they've had a hard game Saturday. It's important for them to go in there and relax. That's the idea of the trip. For us, we got brought along to give us a break, change of scenery, but also to work, and that's what we're doing. Sound fitter then? Yeah, and stronger.
Kevin eats, sleep and drink football, and he enjoys being the captain. Kevin does everything precise, you know. When we're going to away games on the Friday, it's right, tomorrow it's white t-shirt for travelling, grey bottoms for the game, red t-shirt, grey bottoms. So I went round the lads one day and I said, next time he says it, I'll say a code word. I can't remember exactly what the code word was. It could have been, I'll tell you what it was. It was skipper. So we got everybody in and he said, We were travelling on the train up from Durham here to playing Arsenal, and he went, right, it's red T-shirt to travel, grey bottoms, blue T-shirt for the game. So I just went, skipper, and we went away, and everybody turned up in the opposite shirt to Kevin. But he didn't find the funny side of it. He actually thought, have I got it wrong? Did I actually get this wrong? I can't believe I've got it. Because we didn't tell him straight away. I mean, it was when we were on the train and Tony Colton again rang me up and said, and I was sat opposite Kevin, and Tony's asking me, what happened, how did he go on? And I'm saying, yeah, he's just sat here, and Barley went, I know what's happened now, you know, but that is how he is. He's so intense on it, and he loves getting you if you come in with the wrong coloured shirt on, fining you, or if you're two seconds late for dinner, it's a fine. But there's got to be people like Kevin Ball. Kevin would run through a brick wall for this club, and this season has probably been the most outstanding player by far. And but you know, it's quite good sometimes to take the mickey out of people, innit? Kevin's a prime target for me.
Everybody comes in for stick, me probably the most being captain, but to be honest with you, I love it. Like, you know, I think it's a great thing to have where everybody just gives each other stick and has a good laugh together. You know, if we had sort of a superstar, so to speak, come to the club, we'd like to think that we wouldn't treat him any differently to being one of us, irregardless of whether they paid 10 million for him or not. And we'd like to think he had it within him to be one of us as well. It doesn't matter how much you pay for a player, you know, how big his name is, at the end of the day he's got to play within a team. And I think that's the one big thing that our manager does. He'll only buy the player that he feels is going to fit in.
Cheating is what?
Next up were Leeds United. Sunderland had been beaten by them already once this season, but refreshed from their break, the team were determined to get even in front of a capacity home crowd.
Start quick. Don't hesitate. Go for the front fucking lads. If you've got through the back, the front fucking seven, get right up against it. Fucking right in the faces.
Come, Paulie. Come, Brace. Get him. Come on.
Don't hesitate. Fucking be positive.
From the start, eh? Fucking sharp start.
Positive.
Come on, let's get them fucking tackles.
What a taxi,
50-50.
Don't gamble.
Yes, Elliot.
They battled hard in the first half, but came nowhere near scoring, a fact that was painfully obvious to injured striker Niall Quinn.
Just keep the fucking ball. If you're not sure, keep the fucking ball. Be strong on it. I know it's hard, I know there's wind, but it's fucking elementary, Edders. We fucking pass and all week, and then we come out on a Saturday and we can't fucking pass. We can't pass it from A to fucking B. When we've got it down on a couple of occasions and passed it, we fucking can't live with you. They cannot live with you. And that's what pisses me off. Because you can do it. Keep the fucking football. That's all I want you to do. When you go out there, final day, do what you want. Be positive, shots, crosses, get on with it. But just keep the fucking football.
1-0 to Leeds. It's hardly surprising the crowd were unhappy. They hadn't seen a win for 8 games.
We've got Tony Courton, good goalkeeper, who was injured straight away. Niall Quinn, the same. You know, he changed the side. We had a different, you know, something else about us. He's injured, you know. And then you're thinking, like, all the way, well, he's got to sign somebody, he's got to... But you put your faith in him, and you leave it up to him to do it, don't you? He knows better than I know, or I'll be doing his job and he'll be doing mine.
You can't build a team in 2 years. I've been here 2 years. You can't build a football team that's going to fight for honours. You could do if you had unlimited funds, get there, but hey, realistically, I ain't. So I've got to do it the way I think's right, a solid base, and then go from there. I went to the tribunal with a boy called Halliday, who I thought had a chance at Hartlepool. And the tribunal put, I think it was 175 in build-ups. Now that didn't, I mean 175 ain't going to kill this club. Now I didn't think the tribunal was a fair price. So I pulled out. Not because of the 175, because I could have quite easily done it. And to be fair, I was sick for the lad, Stephen Lambert, because he was a nice lad and I thought he had a bit of a chance. But not at that price. And that's what I've got my prices. And I'll stick to it. And if someone at 5 million comes avail and I think is the answer, I'd do it. I mean, I've had bids turned down at 4 million for a player this season. So I know I'm going to have to pay him a shilling. You know what I mean? I'm not daft. But I've had prices on players who I think are overpriced, so I won't do it.
I mean, we've always said that Peter will only sign players that he feels that will strengthen the squad. And as a board, we back him in that philosophy and will support him. You know, what is a fact in the club is, at this moment, has probably never had as much financial resources available to spend on players. But what we must ensure is that is spent correctly. But it is frustrating.
While the team struggled, the new stadium was beginning to take shape. The vast 42,000-seater, state-of-the-art arena was now back on schedule, but there was still a lot to be done if it was to be ready by June.
You disappear, I'll follow. I come down fairly regularly, at least once a week, probably twice a week. We need to liaise with the project managers. There's more and more detail needs to be discussed. You know, the fundamental of putting the main bowl up in the roof is fairly simple, but once we get into the detail of the layout of the various rooms and the finishes, there needs to be a lot more consultation with the club.
Consultation with the club usually meant consultation with Chairman Bob Merry.
On the freehold for the ticket office. So
he was obsessed with every detail and finish, which is perhaps only to be expected of a man who made his millions from fitted kitchens.
Concrete edging, Bob, the pitch.
We know that's what you want and we'll get it sorted.
I have to say, I'm not so sure about this.
Jeff, you live near Arsenal. You just go on Arsenal and have a look, Jeff. It's an edging, it's a half-inch, a three-quarter-inch edging, stone sort of edging face it is.
How's it going to look in cross-section here? Is it level?
Looks superb. John, you know, never
yeah,
seen
but hang on, Bob. We've got to be checked that how we're going to get Arsenal at the end of the day.
Achieve the looks, I'm sure.
Because Arsenal's near as damn it flat.
It's flat.
It's not flat, actually. It's a slight camber on it. But now
we can get that. Yeah.
But have we got that? Is that in the spec? Is this what we're proposing?
Well, originally we had a step, but we've changed it, haven't we?
So that has changed. Yeah. So we've got a flat situation now.
Arsenal's got the best pitch in Britain.
Is there such a thing as a groundsman of the year or something that you can enter?
The Arsenal man was being the top man, I think, for the last year or two. He's got a good pitch, like. With a very dedicated people, you know, groundsmen. It's amazing what they put into the job. When they say goalkeepers mark the boxes, you know, the shutter, it absolutely goes right through them. I don't think people realise how dedicated they are. Smashing bunch of fellas, like.
So would you like to win the best groundsman?
Oh, I would like to win it for everybody that's worked here in the past. Yeah, I would love it, but I mean, I don't hold much hope of that, but it would be tremendous if I did. For the people that's worked and give a lot of their lives to the ground. For Sunderland Football Club's sake, I would absolutely love it. Yeah. As I say, it's my beloved club, and it would be tremendous.
Of course, now Sunderland was not only Tommy's beloved club, he and his friends had to share it with a completely new set of fans. The city banks and institutions who had recently invested in the stock market flotation. In a move to calm any nervousness that the investors may have had after the club's recent performance, the board invited their bankers to visit the North East and take a look at how the money was being spent.
We've got 45 minutes, David.
We'll take any questions going. We're not sensitive at all. We're open and honest. We've got nothing to hide, so I'll just hand over to John to start the presentation.
Good morning, everybody. We've said for some time now that the new stadium is very, very important to the business for the future. The construction is on schedule. We have the first game arranged for the 30th of July, which is an opening game with Ajax of Amsterdam, which will be the formal celebration for the opening of the new stadium.
Players, brief word on players' wages. I've already mentioned something that we are renegotiating contracts for players that we wish to keep as this year progresses, and we have managed to tie up all of those that we wish to tie up for the remainder of the season and beyond. Naturally, we're trying to tie the wages down as much as possible to make sure that players get paid as the club performs, and that comes down to negotiation with all concerned. As I mentioned before, we had anticipated in this year's current forecast to spend up to £10 million on players. We haven't spent all that money yet. We know that we will probably need to spend again in the next financial year as we build and strengthen the squad. And on transfers and player negotiations, I'd just like to make the point again that it is something which it's a joint effort with the board and the manager as to what we do and how we progress.
Assuming that you have had negotiations with certain players, what has been the reason why they have not come here? Has it been that they've expected too high a wage?
Every player have been after we've been able to get, i.e. negotiating his wages, but it's just a matter of availability. The ones I want haven't been available, no matter what money I've thrown at them. So that's basically the reason for that.
And I think just to caveat that slightly, Peter says no matter what money's thrown at me, you're not one to throw money that you don't think's worth it.
Oh no, I mean, I'm a manager who I've got a valuation on a player, and I'll be very loath to go above it. I won't like get involved in auctions.
Another problem as well, that if other people are prepared to pay up ridiculous amounts, then if you're the only one who's not, you know, you'll never get anybody.
Well, I take your point, and you're right on it. But if you look at because you've got to mention other teams, because that's what we're talking about. You look at Borough, Coventry, Southampton, West Ham, who have paid that. We'll finish higher than them.
With 3 games to play in 7 days, this was to be a critical week that would really put Peter's confidence to the test. It would begin away to Blackburn, be followed by a midweek home match against Tottenham, and end at Roker Park with a game against Manchester United, the team hotly tipped to win the Premier League. The players seemed relaxed and in good spirits, surprising given that they hadn't won away from home since November.
These beds are going to be separated, I'm afraid. I'll get on well with you, Agnes, but they're just a bit too close. First things first, we're just going to have to pull them apart.
What's happening there then? Behind you, leaking in.
Since Ted Moult's gone, can't fit the best. Before the season started, it was doom and gloom, wasn't it? Because, you know, it was the 3 promoted teams are going to be the 3 relegated. And I think the 3 teams, you know, all 3 of them have done well and held their own, so to speak.
We've struggled in certain games and done well in other games, and it's been like up and down all season. And with the 3 points for a win, if you win a game, in many ways it's like, you know, it's like winning a cup final. You know, the atmosphere and the changing room for it. But then if you lose a game, it's the opposite effect. So it's, you know, that's how it is throughout the season. And you know, we've got big games coming up, and I mean, if we can win a game, you know, if we win again tomorrow, and you get 3 points, all of a sudden you look quite safe halfway up the league again.
The night before an away match, the routine is always the same. Dinner in the restaurant at 7 sharp, wearing the right kit, or face a heavy fine from Borley.
I've got the odd one, Borley, but...
Wish it was grey all over.
When it goes grey, it's nice.
After dinner, everyone must be in their rooms by 9 o'clock.
When you watch it on television, it looks as if you get a lot more time. Maybe the players who've played in this division for about 6 or 7 years are probably used to it now, but with it being our first season, I've found it quite hard, yeah.
What about you, Craig?
Same. No, I think look at him, he's got loads of time. Good players make time for themselves, and you don't realise until you're actually playing against them just how good they actually are.
Every team in Premier League's got like 3 or 4 outstanding players. We can change things on the pitch. Like one magic of moment can change result, and definitely, probably, I would say in Premier League people, when they create chances, they take them, and in probably lower division, if people have to create more chances to score goal. Hopefully we can win against them, because I think they're similar team. Like they've got plenty of quality players, but I think we can match them. To be honest, before every game, when you're going away, you always think you can win, because there wouldn't be point come here if you were thinking you will lose. Better stay at home. Before every game, I'm quite optimistic, and I'm counting on 3 points.
It's always hard because you want to do so well for your hometown team. I mean, it's always been an ambition for me and Craig to play for Sunderland, and that's come true. And I just want to do the best that we can now. But I always find it easy playing away from home. I don't know why.
Do you find that? What do you find?
I think away from home, the supporters are a lot more vocal. I think, I don't know, it's because I've had a good few pints on the way down. Like, they're always out singing the home fans' team, you know. So it's really uplifting for the lads, you know. You go out and you see that there's a good few thousand come away, like as every game they do, and they all join in, sing together, and it's very uplifting for the players. Like.
Sunderland 0. Derby County 3, Chelsea 2. Everton 0, Arsenal 2.
West Ham
Back into the bottom three now, Nottingham Forest are fourth from the foot, and then come Coventry and Sunderland, by no means safe.
We've come here and we've defended well, but we've got a problem getting goals, and it's particularly disappointing when you get beat by that. But we've got to keep on working hard.
I mean, it's just going to be a battle now to the end of the season, is it?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, when you're down there and we've got a lot of good games. I mean, we've got Tottenham and Manchester United to come at home. So it's a good league to be in. And we need to scrap to stay in there.
There's Niall Quinn, 1.3 million. The guy, he's been there, seen it, done it. He's played for the Republic of Ireland, he's played for Manchester City, whatever. The guy can score goals regularly at that level. I think at 1.3 million he was excellent bit of business, but he's been out injured since early October in the Coventry game. And to this day, he's still joint top leading scorer with 4 goals. So, you know, if we haven't got a priority, you know, you look at our goals for column, and it's been a well-known fact, we're absolutely desperate for somebody who can put the ball in the net. And he hasn't gone out and bought anybody.
It's getting to a difficult time in the season now. You know, they're all novices in many ways, and the sort of crunch is on, the battle is on now. Some people get away with playing a lot of young players because there's not a lot of expected of them, and if they do well, it's a bonus, but not the Sunderland fans and the way the club is going with the flotation, with everything else. There's no room for sentiment. It's just got to be success or well, the rest you don't bear to think about the other results. So it's been harder, you know, and I think you do need, certainly amongst a team of quality young players, you do need 2 or 3 experienced players just to guide them along, help them through what can be difficult times for a young player.
Have you had your Cybex testing and stuff?
Yeah, I've improving all the time.
So are you stronger on the right than on the left?
I would say I'm up there. Yeah, in fact, I would say from when I started my left, I'd say my right is a bit better now. Yeah. I've gone 16 weeks into my operation. It's a very short amount of time for the operation I've had, the cruciate ligament repair, anterior cruciate ligament repair, I should say, and I've done better than last time. It took me 7 months last time, but this time Sunderland have been great. They've given me my head, said to go ahead, do whatever I feel is right, because I've had it before, and it's been brilliant. As I say, I'm less than 4 months now, and I'm hoping they'll let me play a game today. They mightn't, though.
I think the time has come to set yourself a deadline. Mm-hmm. I think you could aim, what do you think, 3 weeks?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Obviously, if I'm not going to make it back, or Paul Stewart isn't going to make it back, who's a strong lad, I think I'd like to see Big Lee Howie up there. Then again, you might have signed someone this afternoon for 5 million and none of us will ever get a game again.
I would have bought some more players. I mean, Darren Huckabee went to Coventry. I mean, John Hartson, £5 million, I know it's a lot, but he scored 2 goals on Saturday. So we need someone in front. Up front, we need someone in midfield. So I would buy, definitely.
I mean, obviously it's easier to say in hindsight you could buy this, but I mean, there's players that have gone, that Van Hooijdonk has gone to Notts Forest, a good player, 4 million or whatever he was. Why couldn't we have signed him? That Darren Huckabee that went to Coventry, why couldn't we have signed him?
What I think of all of that is that there's some clubs who have spent a lot of money and mightn't have got the players in to do the job. So I won't spend the money unless I get the right players. Simple as that.
So do you reckon you're going to just kind of...
Well, I'll tell you the other scenario,
right.
to just nip it in the bud. I'll buy people I don't fancy, for buying's sake. Now, which road will that take me down? I won't bend for anybody, and that's just the way I am. And people take me or leave me on it, but that's, you know, and I won't.
Leeds Spurs on the road to the crowd. Aye. Right, it's a big game. They're all big games now, aren't they?
They're all big games. We got 3 points tonight.
It's easier games as well. We should have had the points, put it that way, like, innit? We're up against the hard teams now, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, who'll get the first goal then, do you reckon?
Mickey Gray.
Mickey Gray?
Edge of the box.
Anybody else?
Yeah, well,
66 to 1.
I'll check Kevin Ball.
I'll just settle for a goal.
So far, this hadn't been a great season for Spurs, and so everyone had a good feeling about the game.
Reedy's bar was done specifically for this year, and I think it was the first home game.
That's right, yeah.
We thought we'd come along and just see how it was working.
It was also my first game.
In reality,
as well.
it was Mark's first game. So we came in and had three bottles or 3 cans of Bud, and we kept that going, and we've always had reasonable results on and off. And for some unknown reason, the last game against Leeds, we didn't do it.
No, we didn't do it.
So immediately at full time, we thought, you know, you do the post-match, post-mortem, what the problems were, and we said, because we didn't have the 3 bottles of Bud in Reedy's bar. So that's why we're here tonight, to make sure that...
You're not superstitious or anything like that,
I'm not
Johnny,
superstitious, but we're here to have a Reedy's bar.
Absolute disaster. They were 2-0 down by 10 minutes and 3-0 down by half-time. So much for John's lucky bottle of Bud.
It was the most inept performance of the season so far, unfortunately.
Yeah. I thought Leeds was bad, but...
They were playing 3 at the back, and they've been good at the back all season, but they've picked tonight to just let it all slip, and all 3 goals were fairly sloppy. And obviously with the goal scoring record this season, you can't see them getting back into it in the second half, and it was a big game for them this, and they've been really turned over in the first half, so it's not going to do a lot for morale, this, certainly.
We just picked the wrong side, didn't he? Picked 3 at the back, and you go 3 at the back, and they're not going to survive at 3 at the back at this level. Not what the players will go anyway. Like you said, it looked solid with the back 4, but with the back 3, haven't got a chance. They haven't got the wing backs to run down the wing either.
And he's got limited options for the second half.
So it's looking sad, I'm afraid.
Sunderland cut ribbons time and time again. It's probably the worst I've seen them play in terms of team understanding for some time. Very disappointing.
Alarm bells, I think.
That second half was just too painful to watch.
You know, you have to actually look at the other end of this ground and say, OK, Tottenham have won 4-0, but they were playing against possibly the feeblest, and I don't mean that cruelly, but possibly the feeblest strike force in the Premier League. They can't score goals at Sunderland. The only goal they scored here in 1997 was an own goal by Tony Adams.
I went home and I was just devastated. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
What did I do after the Tottenham match? You're going to laugh, I was in Spain. We were actually, when we got beat 4-0, but we were on holiday in Spain. But the first thing I did, because we had satellite in the apartment, was the Sky Sports was on the news for the updates all the time, and I sat there for the full 90 minutes. And it came through, we were going up the Rock Park, there's been a score, Everson scored in 65 seconds, and it was like, oh no. So another 10 minutes went by, back to Roker Park, there's been another, and I'm sitting there praying, please, ones each, it's 2-0. And then it's 3-0 and 4-0 and, oh, you're just deflated. Absolutely deflated.
You can feel the humiliation of the players. I mean, they're trying their hardest out there, and they've lost. And you could really see no way that Sunderland could have scored that much. And you feel for them. It's their career.
There's still a long way to go. I mean, it's not bloody doom and gloom, you know. I mean, everybody's not jumping off the Weymouth bridges yet, and I think it's just one of those things that we've had a couple of bad results, and it's just one of those, you know, that's a function of football. We've just got to get ourselves sorted out and get a couple of reasonable results under our belt, and the situation can change equally the other way.
All we're trying to do is re-establish Sunderland. Sadly, it's taken a lot longer than we needed, and that's down to the stadium, because the stadium is the catalyst for everything. The stadium is the thing that will mean it'll get us the management, the players, the attractions. It is absolutely everything. People couldn't see that are blind.
Not everyone shared Bob's optimism. The press were beginning to make jokes about white elephants, and after last night's defeat, the club's share price had taken a tumble. The board was forced to make some tough decisions.
No, well, you see, these people who are arriving, they come up and they come into here. Yeah.
Bob wasn't happy with the designs proposed for the executive areas of the new stadium. There was confusion over what image the club wanted to portray.
The way I see it, all the designs that you're being...
Fred.
Can we just have one meeting? The way I see it is they've given you a modern interpretation. You wanted quality materials, you've asked them to come forward with quality materials. They've done that: stainless steel, glass, granite, expensive carpets. It's all expensive finishes. And it's designed in a very 1990s sort of way, as you say, sort of Terence Conran sort of style. And that goes through all the four areas that we've got here. And if the club doesn't want that, then there's no point in picking and choosing the bits we like and the bits we don't like. We should just send them away and say, there's been a misunderstanding, boys. We didn't want this modern approach. We wanted something that is more traditional and conventional and classical.
We ran about walking in and seeing a chandelier type 5-star top of the Market Hotel reception.
It's a completely different animal to what's being offered here.
We did go through this on site the other week, and we agreed they were going generally in the right direction.
Yes, we did.
And we're now saying they're going completely the wrong direction, which is a bit...
No, there's two elements here. There's one is the finishes, and more importantly, some of the layouts are not quite...
Yeah, but
you know, i.e. the toilets, we don't want... We
you can't compromise, that. You know. You either want to go modern or you don't.
I like the mix of tops, I like the mix of tops better than the two.
I'll have a go at recapping at the end, but I think
we need to, yeah.
We're all right.
We do a bit of recapping, Bob. I think we should.
I'll have a go at
Otherwise, we're back to square one. You know, for me, we're not moving forward quick enough. We're going back 3 paces every time and coming forward.
But the whole thing's back to the drawing board, isn't it? This is not a chandelier design. None of it is.
Saturday, the 8th of March 1997. Sunderland at home to Manchester United, the most successful team in the Premier League.
Sunderland is not any team with any esteem or any sort of grandeur. You know, we've come up from the First Division. Everybody expects us to be relegated. And, you know, look at the fixture list. Manchester United, oh, well, that's 3 points to Manchester United. We're just written off. We are, basically.
The words lambs and slaughter spring to mind.
Very big one today. Want at least a draw. It's a bit much to ask for, but we'll be trying, I'm sure of that. It's an awesome task, of course. But if the lads put it together, you know, there's one thing sure, they'll be trying their hearts out, that's definite, that. We've done what we can on the pitch for them, now it's up to them.
We've had 2 defeats this week. I've had an absolute magnificent week. Delighted with the way things have gone. Things can only get better. You can get a song in there and everything.
I've got a fucking gun and I shot myself.
We can arrange that as well.
I've never seen you as quiet on the bench whenever I've seen you.
Well, you're not seen us be fucking 3 down after 20 minutes then, have you? Or 2 down after 5.
That doesn't happen.
Oh, dearie me. 2 free kicks and our goal kick. The third one was our goal kick. What about that one? That's a novelty.
Oh, brilliant.
Mommy. It's a great day for us, playing top of the league side, who've come off the back of an excellent result. I mean, when I was a player, I certainly enjoyed these days. Because you're playing against the best, and if you go and look at the pitch out there, it's in immaculate condition. It's ideal for football. Maybe a wee bit too hot, but great for football. And you're playing against a good side.
Carsten told this joke at the police thing.
What was
the guys
going well with Stadium?
You remember the one about...
You're not going to underlight it at night, because all the white steel will be exposed, obviously, at the end of the day.
Fantastic.
And we're going to put alternate red and white floodlights on it, so that hopefully the impression from a distance you get this sort of red and white bulb.
For the boys in red and white this afternoon, in goal, number 30, Lionel Perez. Number 12, Gareth Hall. Number 2, Darius Kavitsky. Number 5, Kevin Ball. Number 4, Paul Bracewell. Number 8...
My daughter's here. She thinks it's a big game. She's here for the support. The girl. She comes up every now and then. She's a big Bolton Wanderers fan. So, but she I think, because we're under the cosh a bit, I think she wants to lend her support to her dad, which is always nice, isn't it? Very pleasant.
And what about any other family? Do any other family come?
My dad used to watch me a lot, but he's had a stroke a few years ago, and he's not really up to it. The travelling side of it, like, and sometimes he gets a bit nervous.
By half-time, no one had scored, but believe it or not, Sunderland had had the best of the first half.
Now, when Mickey, Gareth, or Ned, or Darius gets it, I know it's one of you try and just get in that hole. Just try and get in that hole when we're in the final third, and you might drag one of the centre-backs out, and because Bawley's getting in for fun. Now, if you get in the hole, you might just drag a centre-back out, and then there's an area for them to go in. But if you can drag one out and create a hole, I think Kevin can get in on it. Besides that, keep your work rate up. It's been fucking different class, been good to watch, and you get what you deserve. Keep it going. Go.
We want to be fucking in nice and tight and nice and comfortable. If one goes in there, one goes with him, and we fucking close up. It's as simple as that. If he drops in there, he goes with him, and we fucking close up. 4 against 3. 4 against 3. You've been absolutely brilliant.
All right.
Well done, boys. Brilliant.
OK, they managed to score a late goal, but they still did it. Sunderland beat Man United.
We were in Spain, that was on the Saturday. We had this guy on. I know it sounds daft, but it went over with Rodney Marsh, and all the guys were standing there. He says, I can't believe it. He said, you wouldn't. He said, it's just, you know, football doesn't follow any path. He said, Sunderland are winning 1-0. Now I was in the apartment in Spain. I went like, get in, you know? And then when we went back to him 5 minutes later, he said, long ball from Hall. He said, Mullins, you know, won the challenge with me, and he said he slotted under Schmeichel 2-0. And I was like ecstatic, jumping over the couch and everything in the apartment. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
You've only got 4 minutes to go. Your hopes think, well, you know, you've got 3 points. You're moving further away from the relegation zone. And it's just, you kind of describe it, really, unless you're a true supporter. You know, people don't understand. I think you're just stupid.
Great, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I was worried. It went about 5 minutes over the top. I think the referee was playing for them. Brilliant.
Oh, well, it was a fantastic atmosphere.
I mean, the atmosphere, that's the way we wanted. That's the right atmosphere we want. Brilliant, brilliant. But that's the real Sunderland, the real fighting spirit, like, and Kevin Urge in the morning, you know, Barley, like, tremendous. I can't say any more, I'm too late. Thanks.
See you, Tommy.
This is a time when teams obviously, you know, going to be fighting to win the Championship, get into Europe, or battle to avoid relegation. But as the games start to dwindle, the league's table's taking shape, so people tend to see which team's going where.
Waddle is just a panic buy, isn't he? They leave the last minute of the season when they're struggling before they buy anyone. And all of a sudden, we'll get the indulgence in the transfer market, get speculation, every man his dogs come to Sunderland.
Obviously, it'd be nice to have the fans there. They should be there. It's a disgrace, you know, the way things are between Sunderland and Newcastle is wrong. You know, in every sense of the word, it's wrong. And it's got to be put right one way or another. They've got to get together and say, now look, you know, this has got to stop. Here we go.
Guys, come on! Fucking come on!